Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
It takes a liar to identify one. And if Beatrice sits here and talks about lies, then I think it's fair to call her leader the Pro-Max version of a liar. They are the ones that it takes a lie. And I always say that when problems are created in knowledge, it's not in ignorance that you solve them. And I think our compatriots need to know that. If making a promise and not fulfilling it makes one a liar, then what happened to one-time premium? As for the bit about digitalizing our systems and all that, I'll treat it like the way they treated free SHS. They sponsored so many ads, over 20 ads against free SHS. Poo-pooed it. When they realized the impact it was making, they turned around and said they introduced free SHS. So I'll just treat the way she treated digitalization and all, because it's difficult for them to understand where we are in this current dispensation. I was thinking that the 20 going into an election, the over 30 minutes that she spoke, she would have said, Dr. Bawumia says I'm going to review the NPPs Act, amend it. This is what we are going to do. No alternative. It's all about insults, it's all about things, and that is why we say it's about the future and the past. They can stay in the past. She was mentioning Islamic schools that have been built. Do you know Larbanga? It's in the Damango constituency. Go there. There's a newly built Islamic senior high school there. Probably you've never been there. Maybe when you follow your candidate, whenever he's going to Bole, after Damango, on the way to Sola to Bole, you see Larbanga Senior High School, Islamic Senior High School. Travel around and understand. For a flag bearer,
60. Mention 60.
From, you said I should mention just one. I've given you one.
So mention the rest. Mention the 50.
How pathological you are as a liar, so you can identify
how many Muslim schools have
let's
built?
Go on. She said I should mention. Let me go on. There are a lot
and
of things
I
need to address.
How many Islamic schools have built?
When you set up without an alternative,
you are ignoring my question. How many Islamic schools have
she
you
claimed
built?
I spoke for 41 minutes. You interjected throughout. When she was speaking, you were there. You were even added on to what she was saying. Please let me do my presentation. When I'm done, you can don't interject.
Lawuratu, I take exception to that. I don't know if it's an advice or a warning. I'm a host.
Yes,
I'm sitting in as a host. I have the right to
so
interject.
Can I finish my point and answer your question?
I'll make this point before you continue. I have the right to interject as and when I want to. Nobody gives me rules as to when to interject. So if she's talking and I don't interject at some point and I interject at some point on your point, it doesn't make me an unfair host. It means that in my mind,
so
I want
can
to
I finish my point and address your
I accept what
issue.
I'm saying first before you go on.
I should accept it.
Accept it. That's the rule I've put on
You
the
have
game.
the right to interject.
No, it is a rule.
I have the right to accept or not accept.
You don't have the right to accept or not accept. I have the right to interject as and when I want to.
An obey before complaint situation here. Okay, so let's move on. Look,
so it's not right
for two flag bearers in the two leading political parties, and this is where the choice is coming. Both candidates come from regions that have been carved out of the original northern region. Since 1996, the leader of the NDC has been in government. From MP, minister, deputy minister, full-fledged minister, vice president, acting president, president. The people in now Savannah region cried for 40 years just to get a region carved out for them to help manage our development. Forget about even the creation of the region. Savannah region is one of the poorest when it comes to education. But the same person from that region, who has been an MP in a constituency there before, led a pack, a campaign against free SHS. That is the alternative we are talking about. That is the alternative we are talking about, as against Dr. Bawumia. Today, can anybody deny the fact that there are drones? So please.
Become responsible for those ones.
For the drones.
When you ask them,
Please.
whether, please, you
Honey,
did that to me, oh, please,
you
you don't get
I
to pick and
didn't
choose.
even cough
You before I spoke, when I gave Annie
hold
1
on.
minute.
Hold on.
When I gave
Hold on.
Annie 1 minute.
Lawuratu, hold on. What's the question you're
My
asking?
question is that Dr. Bawumia cannot be responsible for the mess of this government because his advice or his role was just advisory. How is it that you are touting these as Dr. Bawumia's achievements? It's a fair question.
Okay.
It's a fair question.
When we say our compatriots don't read and they don't listen, this is one of it.
I'm more red than you are.
When Dr. Bawumia
At least I'm more red than you are.
mounted the podium to talk, what was the first thing he said? I am here to give you my vision, but it's just right as a certain vice president, and I'm not quoting.
He said he's like a candidate coming for a job interview.
Exactly. Account to you what I have done was the implementation of the drones that are being run by Zipline. Not part of, not part of it.
Is the depreciation of the
Can
dollar not part?
anybody deny that we don't have drones sending blood and blood products?
That's why it's like a gamma is that.
Sending anti-snake venom to hard-to-reach places, whilst we look at dealing with other aspects of infrastructure.
It is a approbating and reprobating situation that
Is
people
it
are
a lie?
asking. No, it's not
That
a lie.
is free SHS.
So if Dr. Bawumia led,
That has increased enrollment to 1.4
so Dr.
million.
Bawumia led
Yes.
the policy
If
implementation
you read
of
the
free.
study-
Hold on,
Yes.
Dr. Bawumia led the implementation of free SHS.
Honey, I
he
think
led it.
if you listen, you see, when we are talking,
Okay, let's
don't
assume
listen to
Lawuratu.
comment.
Let's assume I didn't listen.
It's national.
I didn't
what
listen.
I'm saying
I didn't
is, when
listen.
he was
No, I want
accounting,
clarity. I
you see,
didn't listen.
When he was accounting,
Hold on.
his main focus
Uh-huh.
was digitalization.
So I'm saying
that
that.
brings in the drones and all these things that she's trying to take credit of Ghana.gov. That is one of the boldest steps when it comes to
Of changing domain names.
dealing with corruption. Honey, over the years, we had people go to Public Accounts Committee, and monies that they have taken was kept in a safe or something, and the money got
Like
missing. Today, you sit, you pay for the services, it goes straight to Ghana. How do you? Isn't that dealing with corruption? Today, identity theft. If I have my Ghana card, it's my tin, it's my snake. I have snakes sending me. Come on.
Dr. Bawumia's pastor.
Which pastor?
What you did
Edu
here,
Jensi.
what you
That's
did
not
here
Dr.
was
Bawumia's
a
pastor.
shameful joke. You sat here and called Dr. Bawumia names, but I have been taught. I have been taught and brought up
After
that
you
when you
flawed
don't
me.
want anybody to insult your father, you don't
don't
insult
But
your father.
the incompetent
You
one
get-
there is what?
So that is
The
my
incompetent
argument.
one is what?
Yours may be different.
Dr.
And
Bawumia
Dr.
was not
Bawumia
brought up
goes
well.
further
Is that what she
in
said,
his
Dr.
vision
Bawumia?
to talk about morals and values. That is what we are known for as a people. Morals and values.
The job
I
has
have a candidate who can boldly say that I am not corrupt. I have never been corrupt. Can her flag bearer say that? No. Even when he was asked,
If you were not
have you
useless,
taken
why
bribe
would the
before? He
man
said,
who is
as a
corrupt
human
be
being,
walking
as a
free?
president? What's the difference?
Why have you
between-
not arrested him?
Isn't it a human being that becomes?
Why have you not arrested
But you
him?
see, in all this,
If you have
the
men enough,
companion
go and
that we
arrest him.
appeal to. We have never run away from the fact that there are challenges that we are dealing with.
Except-
Dr. Bawumia
Except Dr.
didn't
Bawumia is not
run
part.
away from the fact that there are challenges.
But he ran away
And
from the
he
fact that he's
stated
responsible.
that apart from the COVID, apart from Russia and Ukraine, we also had our internal challenges that also added up to where we go to. He was emphatic. It's in the document. But let me come to the bit about jobs. And you see, our compatriots need to understand data and data sources when we are talking.
Explain to
On
us.
jobs, paragraph 23. Let me read. Yeah. What is probably the most remarkable development in terms of the economy is that our government has created 2.1 million jobs between 2017 and 2022, notwithstanding the global economic crisis. The public sector recruited 1.2 million people, while the private sector created 975,000 jobs per SNIT data. We recruited 100,000 more health workers, 100,000 more teachers, more than double fire service personnel, etc. Our government has quite, and listen to it, our government is part of it. Our government has quite clearly created more jobs in 7-year period than any government. This is truly remarkable. And
the arguments about jobs. No. As a journalist, I'll ask you this question. Okay, the argument about jobs is the inconsistencies of the numbers that are being bandied about by ministers, by vice president, by finance ministers. Sometimes when you go to parliament, the data that's provided, the numbers are different. We have 5 million, we have 3 million, we have 2.5, we have 2. I mean, it is the consistency or inconsistencies of the numbers. It's not that you have not created or you have created. That's not where the debate is. The debate is whose figure should we go with?
Did you take notes of the source of the data? Did you?
It's not about the source of the data.
Public sector. No.
The argument is not the source of the data.
In essence, the
source of data is important. There are multiple sources of data.
So the minister's source was from where?
The minister
you see, took his source from where?
What Dr. Bawumia put out there, yeah, right, is data. It's like private permanent jobs. You get it? Listen, so there were jobs that were created. You understand that in employment.
You are introducing something very new. Private permanent. No, I'm sorry. Private permanent job.
You need to call Beatrice.
Please.
Private permanent. I need some silence, please. I beg you. You said private
reciprocate.
It's private permanent job.
She doesn't.
You mean employment?
I can teach
that. You know, employment is different from jobs.
Come again.
Employment is different from jobs.
When you're employed, what do you do?
What
do you have?
I don't know.
When you're employed, you have a job. You can be employed permanently, temporarily.
So this is permanent.
But honey, how many people get a bad day job and they are paying SNIT and those things on it? It's you and I who are formally employed, registered with SNIT, pay our contributions and all that. How many people? It's even recently that the SNIT introduced the informal sector contribution and all that.
So which one did you do? So which one did you do?
That's the SNIT data.
I'm saying that
SNIT deal with.
So it's permanent ones.
Who does SNIT deal with?
So permanent jobs.
You are a journalist.
I'm saying that.
Who does SNIT deal
Lawuratu.
with? Tell me.
The question is.
Who does SNIT
So these are
deal
permanent jobs. Having mentioned SNITs, I want to say these are permanent jobs.
Why not?
Okay.
That is what they don't understand.
I mean, employment.
There were jobs that were created temporarily by NACO. There were jobs that were created by rearing for food and jobs. There were jobs that were created by planting for food and jobs. In that moment, when you are doing a survey, all those people have a form of employment. You capture them. Those were the figures the Minister of Employment put out. What Dr. Bawumia put out, and he gave a source. I'm thinking that they'll come and say, we've checked with SNIT, and SNIT is saying the figure is wrong. Then we can have a conversation on that. In these days of right to information law, you write to SNIT, it's a public entity. They'll probably have an information, right to information officer there who go through the process and get you the list. See, so when we say the alternative is empty, this is what we mean. They don't read. They don't listen to understand. They only listen to just respond. And that is not how to grow a nation.
All right.
Dr. Bawumia has put out his vision, has accounted for what he did. Come out and tell us that the GDP figures, the exchange rate figures, the growth figures he has put there, this is your contrary figure. No. All they sought to do was attack people who sought to say that, oh, we agree with Dr. Bawumia, we think he's the best choice for this country. Let's say, you are talking about damaged goods. What's more damaged than your flag bearer? Rejected by some 1 million votes Ghanaians in 2016, rejected again in 2020. Has Dr. Bawumia ever stood to as flag bearer on any ticket? No. That is what we are talking about. And as for the conversation about the two of them coming from the north, we can find time and do a proper analysis of development in that side of our region, irrespective of the number of votes that are given to the MPP. All the policies that the MPP, from ambulance, some constituencies will never have seen an ambulance, if not for the one constituency, one ambulance. All the policies that were brought, how many? They should tell us. They sit there and talk about infrastructure. What makes a nation? Social interventions. They should tell us. They haven't been able to answer that question. And you sit down here and call someone a liar when you are led by the Pro Max version. Come on, let's get serious and let's respect God.